Yo, this is Rashad Farrow with Universal Unity Love I Am. Thank you for tapping in with me today. I'm just dropping in because I have a message for you all from my guides. My guides have come through because we have experienced a shift. And now we are always hearing about these shifts that are happening. There's been a shift. There's a new shift. We are on a shift. We are moving to a higher timeline. We have jumped timelines. You always hear phrases and things like this. Well, maybe you do. I know I do. So anyways, there are many shifts you see. There are many shifts. We are moving towards a golden age. We are entering and in the beginning stages of the age of Aquarius. We are moving up the scale of frequency, you see. We are moving into this golden age. So this doesn't just happen at one time. This happens through multiple shifts, you see, multiple timeline jumps. So things are always shifting. Energy is always in motion. Energy is always moving. Energy is always shifting. Energy is always transforming, transmuting, transferring, changing. So there are many shifts to come, and there have been many shifts that take place. What my guides and my intuition and my inner knowing and feeling tells me is that because of the lunar eclipse that was in Pisces, also with the 999 portal we just experienced, that helped to kind of facilitate another shifting of energies for the collective. And also fast approaching is a solar eclipse. So there are many things that are going on collectively, many things that are going on individually. So I'm dropping in to just share this message from the guides to you all today, kind of about this shift that is taking place at this time and that has taken place. So let me get into it. We now live in a world where rapid change is taking place. Change has always happened since the beginning of time, but the age of religiosity and mind control of the masses is coming to a burning end. This change is beginning with individuals. The wave of illusion and lies aren't able to wash over the masses like it once has. Distortion of the truth may try to make itself known, but the lies will no longer be held in the face of truth. The face of truth is the face of you. There is no threat upon humanity other than humanity's own limited perception. When you look in the mirror, you're seeing the savior of yourself. Every individual does their part in lifting the veils of illusion by first availing it of themselves. No one individual is going to save the world or save souls, because what is there to be saved from? There is no threat. There is only truth. Then there is distortion. You descend from truth into distortion, then spiral up the frequencies, returning to truth. You've actually never been separate from truth, but you've been made to think distortion is the truth. But no one or being has forced this upon you. You as individuals and as a collective have chosen this for yourselves. Every experience plays its part in the grand macrocosm of creation. When you look in a mirror and realize the face of your own distortions, you'll see the face of truth behind the eyes of the soul. You must first see your own distortions reflected back to you through the mirror of life and experience to then realize the truth, which is playing and acting as distortion. The collective of humanity is reaching this point, that the distorted reflections of itself are becoming known and seen. And the collective of humanity has chosen to revert back into truth and unity. Many are awakening to this transition, and yet there are those that have chosen the same. But they have more fractalization and distortion to realize, so that an awakening to something greater, an awakening to an experience of themselves in unity, divinity, and sovereignty is available. There are aspects of humanity that have yet to realize they have been experiencing and living from an illusion. It may seem this is the majority at face value, but this is not the case. The majority has chosen to awaken within their hearts and soul. And those that have awakened to this choice through the pull of their true self will be and are the light holders, the way showers, the road pavers, the space holders, for truth to once again prevail. The truth of who you are has always been available to you. The truth of who you are is the core and the life-giving force of your being, but it has been masked by shadow. As the shadow is being seen and acknowledged, one is given a choice to behave, react, and be differently. Seeing what the shadow has taught them, then forgiving, therefore loving the shadow, transmutes it into light, lifting the shadow that may be covering your core and dimming the true light and potential of humanity. The light of who you are cannot actually be dimmed, but think of a candle in a field on a foggy night. The candle is burning and shining bright, but the light may be harder to see, to witness through the fog. Humanity must clear the fog of its choices. Humanity must see the distortions in which has been perpetuated, then make the conscious choice to express and be differently. The collective of humanity cannot do this without yet first individuals realizing the distortions in oneself. That is the beauty in humanity. Human beings get to be and express as an individual and yet be a collective conscious. One may evolve and realize oneself at their own pace, and by doing so be a pillar that supports the awakening for all. When you forgive yourself, you forgive all. When you love yourself, you love all. When you are grateful for your existence, you are grateful for all. The same can be said in the opposite polarity. When you view yourself through the eyes of distortion, you see the world through a distorted lens, then projecting your distorted thinking and limiting beliefs onto the world, which creates a perspective of separation. Them against us mentality. And who you are really and who are you really warring with in that perspective? It is first created from the war going on within oneself, the war within your own mind, the separation between higher mind and your higher nature and distorted mind and your lower nature. One's lower nature is only damned because you have placed it there. The greatest sin is the deed one cannot forgive themselves for. As you forgive yourself, you develop compassion. As you have compassion for yourself, you begin to love yourself more deeply. As you begin to love yourself more deeply, you'll begin to observe yourself through the eyes of your true self and love yourself unconditionally. When you enter the consciousness of unconditional love, you enter the heart mind of the infinite, where you realize the light and shadow aspects of yourself were never separate. You've only perceived the darkness through the eyes of distortion. Being whole isn't about shunning the dark and only being light, or vice versa. Becoming whole, becoming a realized master, is integrating the light and the dark together. The darkness within you is the potential to create your experience. The light within you is the directive to give it life. The awareness that you are is the consciousness that manifests it all together. So that was the message that came through on September 10th, the day after 9/99. And then this was the image that came through. I actually didn't have a chance to fully finish it. But what I get from this image is that we must plunge down into the darkness. We must plunge down into our own shadow. And as we plunge into our own shadow, as we plunge into the darkness within us, and we acknowledge the hurt, we acknowledge the pain, we acknowledge the shadow aspects of ourselves that control and dictate our lives that we aren't even aware of a lot of the times, we begin to transmute this. We begin to transmute it. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. So when you place your attention on these aspects of yourself that need healing, you begin to, on a quantum level, affect change to these things. The energy begins to move and be transformed, you see. And as this happens, as you go into the dark, you come out on the other side. You see, you come out of the dark and you begin to enter into the light. So there's a thing called a white hole. Everyone knows about black holes, or at least there's a concept of a white hole. And it's kind of like the black hole, is like your pupil. It's like a black hole constantly absorbing light. And on the other side is all the light. It's the white, you see. So When you enter the black hole, when you enter the darkness that is absorbing all your light, you see, and then you make it through this darkness, you make it through the dark times, you come out the other side and begin to enter the portal of light, you see. You become lifted, you begin to transmute, you begin to transform, and you begin to move up in the frequencies. So, anyways, it's a beautiful time that we're in. It was a beautiful message that the guides have brought through. I'm very grateful for this time. I'm grateful to be here on this day. And I hope you all have gained some message, gained maybe a new perspective on what is going on. Remember, everything and all is happening for you. There is absolutely nothing against you, and you are absolutely, positively, so deeply loved. Thank you for tuning in. Peace.